Hungary. Our next guest is Peter Szijjártó, who is the Hungarian foreign minister. You see him there. Minister, you've tweeted, no matter how much Zelensky threatens, blackmails or tries to pressure us through Brussels, Hungary will not support Ukraine's EU accession. You're going about the will of 2 million Hungarians, that's referring to the vote. But surely there's an argument that says a Hungary in the EU is more likely to follow the human rights and restrictions and regulations that you are seeking. Sorry, I beg your pardon, a Ukraine in the EU is more likely to be a partner than outside the EU.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation again, Richard. Great seeing you after 2 long years. Thank you for giving me the chance to explain Hungary's position. So the thing is that when you think about the enlargement of the European Union, then the major issue is that you want the new member states inside the European Union which make you stronger. And Ukraine would definitely not make European Union stronger. To the contrary, a country at war would import the war itself to the European Union, which we don't want. The current state of Ukraine would weaken the European Union pretty much. Plus, you see that the proposal of the European Commission for the next 7 years would include more than 300 billion euros of support to Ukraine, which is not fair, which is unacceptable for us. We don't want the money of the Hungarian taxpayers to be brought to Ukraine. So under the current circumstances, we definitely do not support Ukraine joining European Union. The enlargement should serve the goal of strengthening the European Union, making it safer. But the accession of Ukraine would weaken the European Union and would import war into the European Union.
Look, I guess the critics, your opposition people would say, just for once, Minister, can't Hungary take a position that is, quote, pro-Ukraine, a country that is battling unprovoked aggression from Russia? Every aspect, it doesn't matter which way you and I just debate this tonight, every aspect of it will be you basically saying you're not in favor of Ukraine.
Well, Hungary has been carrying out the largest humanitarian operation of the history of the country currently. We are the #1 electricity provider of Ukraine currently. So what does it mean being in favor of Ukraine or pro-Ukraine? If we had not delivered electricity to Ukraine, they would not operate. If we had not helped their refugees, it would be with a good reason you say that we are not in favor of Ukraine. But we are helping Ukraine in a many ways. But we are not ready to ruin Hungary. Hungarian people have been paying the price of this war for too long time now, although we don't have any kind of responsibility. This is not our war at all. Plus, there's another thing, Richard, which I have to speak about, is the destiny of the Hungarian community in Ukraine. You cannot believe the way how the rights of the Hungarians in Ukraine are being violated for the last 10 years. Their access to mother tongue in education, in schools, in culture, in public administration has been violated very, very badly. Such a country cannot simply join the European Union.
I don't want to go down. I mean, I hear what you say, and Ukraine rejects those accusations. So we can leave that one just for the side for the moment. I want to talk about trade, if I may, because that's live, it's active, and it looks as though the EU might do it, which has competency. 15% tariff. It's not as good as you had before. It's better than 20 or 30%. Can Hungary and Hungarian business live with a 15% tariff with the United States?
Well, we are a kind of nation which has experienced so many difficulties throughout its history that I'm pretty sure we will be able to adjust ourselves to this situation as well. But it's not going to be easy, Richard, I have to tell you. US is the #2 trading partner of ours outside of the European Union, having the 3rd largest group of investors in Hungary. So for us, the interest would be to have as low tariffs as it is just possible. And Richard, what I can tell you is that it it would have been much better if the European Commission had not committed a very serious mistake. Because what happened when President Trump entered into office, we have asked the European Commission to immediately decrease the tariffs applied by European Union against the United States automotive exports. Why? Because European Union applied 4 times higher tariffs on the US automotive industry than vice versa. If the European Commission had decreased the tariffs on the US automotive industry, I think now we would be in a much better position. So it's a shame that the European Commission was not able to get to a better situation.
Do you have confidence in the negotiators on behalf of the EU to do a deal that will be a good one for Europe, for you, for Hungary? Do you, basically, have you got confidence in the lot that are doing it?
Look, the leadership of the European Union is extremely weak. They are inappropriate. They were not able to make a good deal in favor of Europe in the last, I don't know how many long years. Under this European leadership, the competitiveness of the European Union is decreasing very badly. European Union used to be a strong player in global politics and global economy, but this is unfortunately the past. Why? Because the European leaders have screwed it up.
You would not be surprised that I'm going to raise LGBT issues in Hungary, particularly the Pride, the ban on the Pride March. Now, I understand that because of the law that says divergence from self-identity, sex at birth, sex change, and homosexuality, I understand that by the definition of that law, yeah, probably the Pride March has to be banned because it is an expression of homosexual love. I also hear your point of view. And you've said it a million times, you've said it on this programme. You can love whoever you like in Hungary. The problem is that me and my husband can't hold hands in Budapest, can we? Because that might just be a public display of affection of homosexuality and we could end up getting fined, couldn't we?
No, look, the Pride and what happened around it have proved very, very clearly that love is absolutely free in Hungary. You love whomever you want to. You live together with whomever you love to. But we ask for one thing, Richard. We ask for one thing. That do not behave in a provocative, embarrassing, impolite way on open streets. This is the only thing what we expect from the people. And I think if you have some images from some pride marches in some European cities, you totally understand what I mean. There are kids on the streets, there are kids watching TV, so behaving in an impolite, embarrassing way on open areas is unacceptable. In the meantime, Richard, you love whomever you want to, you live together with whomever you want to. The state has no role in that.
But the only reason that we're seeing the pictures now that you can see on the screen in front of you is because they didn't follow the ban. They did have the march. And I ask you again, Minister, me and my husband holding hands in Budapest, do we risk being arrested?
No, come on. Why do you say that? No, absolutely not. You are welcome. Come with your husband to Budapest. You will enjoy.
And we will thank you, sir. In fact,
thanks.
We'll have you to dinner in a street, in a cafe in Budapest, because that's right. It's a wonderful city. And I'd certainly look forward to it. Thank you very much, Minister, for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
A good discussion. Thank you.